this. Sweet. So now in our last lesson, we had a look at summarizing data. So this is for numerical data, yeah, when we have numbers. So we had a look at the location. So here it is. We had a look at summarizing the location, and you can either look at the mean or you can either look at the median. Okay. Depends on what they want to look for, want you to look for. And you can also find the range, the interquartile range, or the standard deviation. Okay. In terms of pairing, the mean and the standard deviation go together. And these three ideas go together. Okay. Median, IQR, interquartile range, and the range, they all get paired together. Now, let's spend some time so we can apply ourselves for today. Okay. Because I want you to get practice with this as well. And I'll be sharing the CAS as well. Let me just, there it is, the CAS. I'll be sure to make a nice and big. All right, awesome. I'm just going to open up a new document. So I'm just going to press 1 here. And I'll probably put a list in spreadsheets ready to go. Okay. So today we're going to be looking at Boxplots, which is 2H. Okay. 2H. And then I'll give you guys time in class today to just really get some practice down. Okay. Because once you get the idea of box plots, then the rest falls into place, and all you need to do is just have some practice. Now, when you have box plots, they used to call it box and whisker plots. So that's because there's the lines on the outside here. But we'll break this down just so you have a better understanding of what the box plot has, like the features of it. So you have the box, the whiskers, the box here, the whole box, right? If you consider the whole length from here to here, that's what we call the middle 50%. Okay, so you can see where most of the people lie. Each of these sections here represents 25%. And you can see some of them are more spread out, some of them are more bunched up, but each of those segments there mean that it's 25% of the whole thing, or a quarter, whatever you like to express it as. And see how this part here is more bunched up? This means that there's a lot more numbers here within that section there. Whereas, see this section here, it's really long. So that means that it's really spread out across the values, okay? The median is this middle line here as well. So you can already start to see some of the features here that are in our summary, right? In exercise 2G. In fact, it told us all 5 of those figures in one bunch. Let me just scroll up for you. And I know it's not the same answers and stuff. Oh no. You can see here, this section here, min, Q1, median, Q3, and max. That includes all of it. So that's all the 5 things we need. So we can cut the whole process down. I remember back then they would have given you a data dump, and then you would have had to go on and manually find your median. And then you had to find your minimum. You had to find your maximum. And then you had to find Q1. And then you had to find Q3. And then you had to draw it all out, right? Such a pain. In this case here, we can actually just do it, bam, just like that. Now, we can do it manually, so you get the figures out. but we're going to combine this and we're actually going to do it in a graph as well. So I can show you there. So let's take this here. All right. You don't even have to think about, stress too much about trying to create a number line as well, because the number line can be created. So let's punch all this data in. I know we've had this data last week, but we'll use it again. Actually, they've already got all the numbers there. I'm not going to use this example. We'll go to a more advanced one. Perhaps we'll go to one with 33 students. That's a lot of data. Go with one that's not too hefty. Okay. We'll go with question number 6, straight from the textbook. Okay. Can I get you guys to punch this data into your CAS, please? Take your time, punch it out. I'm probably also going to punch it out here. Just give me a second. There you go. Can you guys still see the data?
Yeah, we can still see the data.
Awesome. And you can see my CAS at the same time. Sweet. Thanks, guys. Huda, you there?
Yeah.
Awesome. I'll just mark you present. Thanks, G. And L as well. You're here. What are you here as well? Okay. Now, let me know if you can't remember how to punch in the data as well, yeah? Could I ask you guys, just give us a shout. What should we put for the title?
Books.
Books, nice. Yeah, because if you have a read through, a researcher is interested in the number of books people borrow from a library. So you can see here, we're talking, our focus is on the number of books. Okay. She selected a sample of 38 people. So how many numbers are all up? They're all up, 38. So on the side here, on the left side, when we finish typing it all in, we should see 38 on the side. All right, time for me to shush. Can I just get a thumbs up from people once you've finished typing it up? Putting in the data. Thumbs up, thumbs down, inside, outside. That would be greatly appreciated. Thanks, Force. Gordon, thanks, Gordon. That's it. Whoops.
Like has skipped over like a couple boxes, so I've got to fix up my data.
Oh no. Not good. Once you're done with this, if you finish typing it already, instead of sitting there, see if you can create a summary, a data summary, the 5-figure summary. So add a calculator, menu. Remember, we're looking at statistics. We're looking at stat calculations and one variable statistics. Remember, because there's only just one idea we're looking at here. We're just looking at the number of books. Number of lists, just one. And look for books. Press OK. There's our summary data there. 920. Oh my God. This crow's trying to get into the office. Send help. All right. I'm just going to write this info down. Okie dokie. Now, see, we've used the spreadsheets, we've used the calculator, but let's also generate a box plot as well. So what you're going to do, once you've got that all up, I want you to go into Control Doc. So you add another page. We've already added a list and spreadsheets. We've already added a calculator. Let's go to data and statistics here. Get all those points up again. Should we go to the side here on the vertical axis, or should we go down to the bottom where the horizontal axis is? What do you guys reckon if we want to create our box plot? Is my internet disconnected? Hello? Anybody there?
No, still here.
Yep. Shoot. Tell me. We want to construct the box plot, yeah? You can see part A there. It says use a CAS calculator to construct the box plot of the data. So I've got a 5-figure summary. We still need to.
So you click the box at the bottom.
Yep.
And then you change that to books, and then it'll align itself.
Yeah, definitely aligns itself. Okay. But what do we call this at the moment?
Dot plot.
A dot plot.
Nice. Yep, that's a dot plot. But we want to change it to a box plot. Yeah. So do you remember how we can change it? We can change it to a histogram, can't we? But we can also change it to a box plot. Menu. Remember
Menu 1, 2.
1, 2. Okay. Plot type. So some of you guys might remember the numbers, but don't forget that when we look at a number, there's also the idea that's attached to it as well. Yeah. If you remember the numbers too much and you focus on that too much, then you forget the part where you're understanding what you're doing. Okay. So box plot, change it over. And you can see this is our box plot now. All right. So with this here, I'm just going to screenshot this. Okay. And I'm going to chuck the image over to here. And so we don't really need our CAS anymore, or well, you guys will still be looking at it, but we need to construct this out. We need to draw this out now, yeah? So what's the first feature that we draw from the box plot? Because we've got it right there in front of us. What do we have to draw out?
The axes,
Okay, the axis, both the vertical. Do we have to draw a vertical one or just a horizontal one?
just the x-axis.
Okay, just the x-axis. I'm gonna put an arrow on this end here. Okay, and what should we label it as?
Books.
Just books?
Number
Uh,
of books.
Yeah, number of
Alright.
books.
Yeah, just to be a bit more specific, yeah. Number of books, all right. We've got some numbers here. You can see that they've done it in increments of 5. So maybe we should copy that. Now, obviously you guys will have a ruler. At the moment, I don't. So I'm going to use this as a guide. 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. I could have done increments of 2. It just means it would be a bit more spaced out and it'd be a bit more comfortable. Okay. But no stress. And I see it goes up to 55 there. Okay. Now, here's the thing about this. I'm going to go back here so you can see the CAS as well, because there's something I can't see on this image here versus when I do it on the CAS. Okay. I can't actually figure out what these numbers are exactly, right? I don't know where they are. Those important points. I can draw it up, but I don't know what value it is specifically.
Hover,
What's that?
hover over the
Yeah,
different
that's
parts
it.
of the box plot.
Nice. So you guys start to get an understanding now of like how this, how the CAS works, right? We did the same thing with the histograms, how we just wave our mouse over the top and you can see our Q0, Q1, Q3. We've got our maximum here, or that's the end of the whisker, yeah? Notice the end of the whisker there. Is it shown in our data summary? Oops. Is it
Yeah,
shown
it
in our
is.
data? The 28?
Oh, wait, what?
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's not.
It's not. Yeah, unfortunately, it's not, because the data here only measures up to the 52, which is the maximum, which we agree. Yeah, if we hover over that dot there. But does anyone remember what these dots mean? Does anyone remember what these dots here mean?
The outliers.
Yeah, these are outliers.
I
They're
was going to say that, but I thought that was a whole different topic.
no, it's still within the idea of box plots as well. So the one thing that the data summary here, the 5-figure data summary at the top here, doesn't explain or doesn't include are the outliers. Okay, that's a bit of an issue. So you can see that the 5-figure summary definitely has its pros, but you can also see that it does have its cons as well, in the fact that it doesn't show the outliers, 38 and 52. So that's something to be aware of as well. Now, in order to calculate your upper fence, there is a formula to calculate it. The upper fence in this particular case here isn't shown on the summary either. So I don't know if you guys remember 1.5 times IQR plus the Q3. I can quickly run that calculation for you just so you can see. But again, the CAS does all the heavy lifting. And once you guys get into further 3-4, it's about pumping out, knowing how to use the technology to calculate your numbers efficiently. Now, enough blabbering from me. I'm just going to translate this over to the diagram here. So I'm just going to put the dots down first, just so we can see where they are. Median 13. Going back over here to double check, 28. $38 and $52. Okay, so you can see all the dots placed out there. Remember, the first section there is a box.
Oh my god, that's such a good way of drawing
What's that?
it. That's a better way of drawing it. We just had to like guess. We just had to like line it up rather than draw the dots first.
Right, like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Like,
Like you know how you place the dots first, so you know where to draw. Start drawing the box.
yeah. That you find that a lot
we
easier?
didn't get taught that tip. We just had to draw it.
I see. Yeah. So put the dots out first, then draw up the box wherever you need. Okay. You can see here, there's no whisker on this side. That's okay. It's just following according to the data. There's just a lot of zeros there. In fact, if you have a look up at the data, you can see there's a bunch of zeros everywhere. Zeros here, zeros there. It means that a lot of people don't borrow a lot of books anymore. Okay. I'm going to say anymore because a lot of people just seem to go online to read whatever. Okay. Now, to quickly show you how to.
I'll say I gotta go.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Gordon. Thanks.
I'll
very-
come back at 9:35.
Yeah, all good, man. All good. See ya. Awesome. Okay. Now, just to quickly show you the lower fence and the upper fence. So this tells you where your cutoff is for your outliers, okay? Outliers cutoff. I'm just going to name it like that so it's a lot easier for you to kind of understand what goes on. So for the lower fence here, the formula, there's a formula for it. You would have Q1 minus 1.5 times your interquartile range. Okay, so we do need to do a bit of calculations here. What is your IQR? What is your interquartile range?
Q3 take away Q1.
Excellent, which is?
13 take away 0, just 13.
All right, awesome. Okay, so I got that info there. Just many quick calculations on the side. Q1 is equal to 0 minus 1.5 times 13. Go over to the CAS here. I'm just going to go over to the calculator. 0 minus 1.5 times 13. That's negative 19.5. You can see why we don't really have any outliers down there. But for our upper fence, we have Q3 plus 1.5 times our IQR. And here we have Q3 is, oh no, 13.
Isn't it 0
Sorry.
plus?
13 plus 1.5 times 13. Yeah, and what did you get for your calculation? $32.5?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. 32.5. So just to have a look here again at our data, and what might be useful as well is just I like to actually put the values here because sometimes the number line doesn't really show us everything that we need to see. Okay, that might be a lot easier for you to look at rather than just looking at the number line and lining it up, and still it's like, well, I don't know what that number is. Yeah.
Extra marks or
Sorry, would you get
extra
marked? Like,
marks?
if you haven't shown any of those values over in your summary, then yeah, definitely include it. I think it's going to be included in like all of the marks there. So when I say construct the box plot, it might be worth 2 marks. It'll be included in your 2 marks as well. It'll be required for me to see what values you put out. Okay. So as you can see there, just simply putting those values there will help me know where the numbers are. And you can see the cutoff point here for the upper fence is 32.5. So you don't have to draw this in, but I'm just going to draw it in with a very light line here. 32.5 is roughly here. And so you can see that cutoff, that is our cutoff point for our upper fence. So everything, all the points, all the data that's beyond the upper fence there is what we call outliers. Does this give you a better idea of how outliers work and all that compared to last year?
So,
Yes.
you know, for your x-axis, how come you wrote 5, but you didn't write any of the 5s?
Just so you can see the increment, the initial
Okay.
increment. And then after that, it's just, it's gone up by 5s. In fact, I didn't even have to put the 5 there. You can already figure out
Yeah,
that in between there's, you're jumping up by 5s. Yeah. All good. I might put an extra increment in here just so you know that that goes up to 55. Okay. Any questions on this so far, or any parts that you don't understand, or is it like all thumbs up, we happy?
thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Everyone else? Alrighty, thank you. Matt, Michelle, Uma. Awesome, false, Huda. Sweet. Coda, Grace, Coda, Haley. Yusuf. Awesome. Good, good. Zach, thank you. Adele, Arafat. What are your thoughts?
Yes, sir.
Sorry, Arafat?
You called me.
Yeah, I did, man. Are you awake now?
I was awake before.
Yeah, okay, all good. How do you find this? Does this explanation make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So just think of it as like learning how to play a game, honestly. Like if you don't treat this like maths, but treat it as if like you're learning how to play. You got to know which buttons to press on the computer, to win the round, to level up. And that way it takes off the edge of, oh my God, this is maths. So take it from a different perspective if you can. All right. Now it says use the box plot to identify any outliers and write down their values. Oh, we've already done that as well. Okay. So it's all included in there. Hopefully this calculation here helps you as well with figuring out the outliers. So I'm just going to section that off there. Show you guys. Okay. All right, that there should pretty much summarize exercise 2H. Does anyone have any questions on that? Because what we might do now in the next couple of minutes is just might just give you guys some time to work through this and just chill out for the morning. Are you guys happy with that? Stop the recording.